Hello, dear students. Welcome to you all once again in the mathematics class. Today, dear students, we are going to discuss about the cardinality of set. Okay. At the very beginning day, I had discussed in this topic little bit, but today in the detailed form, we will discuss regarding cardinality of sets. Dear students, in the bygone classes, we had discussed regarding the elements of set. And in this case, that elements of set is the detailed form. Now we will conclude in the gist form or in the short form, in the summarized form in case of cardinality of sets. So if we take a set in case of elements A, E, I, O, U, rather than writing in such form, we write these elements of set A in terms of number of elements contained in the set. How many are there? Of course, these are the vowel sounds containing in English alphabet. So there are 5. So if you count, there are 5. So in this way, we deal in case of cardinality of set. Rather than writing the elements, if we write the elements by counting in a actual number, in a real number form, that is known as the cardinality of set. And dear students, regarding while studying the cardinality of set, in case of class 8, you need to study cardinality of 2 set, just only 2 set. We compare the number of elements contained in the 2 sets along with the universal set. So let's take an example, dear students. I'm going to write a question in a survey of 100 students. It was found that directly I am going to write rather than writing the language so that the time won't be wasted. Number of people who like, number of students who like apple is listed as 70. Okay. Number of people who like banana, I'm going to list out as 80. Okay. 80. And then after, number of people who like both, that means banana as well as apple as well as banana, I'm going to list out as 10. So how to keep this all information in Venn diagram and how to find out the tag question along with the main question, dear friends. So today we are discussing about this cardinality of set. So let's go, let's prepare a Venn diagram. After writing the information in a short form, like number of total number of students surveyed equals NU equals to 100, and then after number of students who like to have apple as 70, and number of students who like to have banana as 80, and number of people who like to have both the fruits, apple as well as banana, as 10. We need to write this all information, and then after we need to write a sentence and we need to underline it, that is representing the above information in a Venn diagram. We do write these all things, and then after what you have to do is you need to prepare the Venn diagram. So while preparing Venn diagram, we need to we should not forget to keep the universal set in here, and then after, as this information is related to 2 subsets, now let's prepare the 2 circles inside the Venn diagram. This is one set, another is this one set. Okay, and rather than writing A only or B only or A B, we write an A because it is the cardinality of set, so that it represents the number contained in the set or the elements contained in the set in the form of number. So similarly, we write B and B, number of elements contained in B set it represents. Okay, now the idea of keeping this all information is same like in elements of set. First of all, we try to keep the value of intersected place. So what is the value of intersected place? If you see in here, then the value is 10. So let's keep this 10 in the middle. It means these are the number of people, number of students. As per this question, number of students who do like to have both the fruits. Now, dear students, in case of set B, if you want to plot this information, 80 number of students are there who would like to have banana. It means these are the, what is this? This place is known as the number of people who like to have only banana. So only means altogether, what we have to remember is altogether in the circle B. In the circle B means the place, these two places combining together, it means there must be 80. As 10 is already included in here, okay, now in the place of this, how much should be included? To be 80. As 10 is already included, how much to be kept in here? 70. So 80 minus the intersected value, it equals to 70. That means we need to keep 70. And what we have to understand, dear student, is banana only liking people are 70. There are 70 number of people who like to have only banana. And same like that, can you keep this idea, dear students? How much should be kept? In the circle A, there must be 70, it means. In the circle A, if we want to keep 70, as we have already kept 10, 10 also belongs to both the sets. That means it is the sharing value of A set as well as B set. So in this side, if we have to keep the remaining value of 70, then of course 70 minus 10, it equals to 60. So in this way. And then after, dear students, another thing is, in case of universal set, in a survey of 100 students, it means the total number of present in this Venn diagram is to be 100. So dear students, rather than writing in here, I am going to keep a little bit more so that it will be easier, 150, so that the countable noun won't become negative. Never the countable students number cannot be kept in the negative form. That's why if we keep 150 rather than 100, the value comes positive. That's why. Now, dear students, if you see the universal set has the value 150, so altogether inside the rectangle there must be 150. So whether there is under 150 or not inside the circle, let's see first of all. 70 plus 10, 80. 80 plus 60, 140. Now to be 150, how much value should be kept? 10. So 60 plus 10, 70, 70 plus 70, 140. Now to be 150, there is still the 10 number which has to be kept at the outside, which is known as the complement part. So let's keep here 10. Now, dear students, after representing the information in Venn diagram, you need to be able to give the answer of the tag question. There will be some short questions listed as I number, double I number, triple I number, doing so. So if there is a question to find out n dot A, what should be done? And if there is question of finding n dot B, what should be done? And if there is question to find out number of A union B complement, then what should be done? Dear students, in the logical form, if we say this means the number of people, the number of students who like to have apple only, and we pronunciate this as n dot A. And this one n dot B. Dot represents only, okay? And the value of only side should be kept as the answer of these two questions. Then n dot A, if we want to find out the value, there will be 60. So n dot A equals to 60. There are 60 number of people, 60 number of students who want to have apple only. They won't prefer to have banana. Now similarly, if we have to go in case of banana, then only there is 70, so the answer will be 70. Similarly, if you need to find out the complement part, you have already understood in case of elements of set as well. if there is bar sign, then it represents except the elements of the down one. That means as here is A union B, so accept the A union B. A union B represents, dear students, the whole value of the circle, both the circles value. If we add together or if we combine together, then it will be A union B. So next question may be number of A union B to be found as well. So at the time, what we have to do, 60 plus 10 plus 70, they are present in the altogether 60 plus 10 plus 70, it equals to 140, and A union B complement represents the value containing in the rectangle but outside of the circle. It means as per the Venn diagram there is 10, so let's keep 10 in the place of A union B complement. So these are the answer. In this way we represent the information in Venn diagram and we find out the answer of the different tag question given to you. Once again, dear students, there are 100 number of people, 150 number of people surveyed. Okay, this means the universal set n equals to 150. Now it was found that I'm going to write, I have written in summarized form, number of people who like to have apple, there is listed as 70, and number of people who like to have banana, there it is listed as 80, and number of people who like to have both, that means number of students who like to have apple as well as banana both equals to 10. So if we want to represent this information in Venn diagram, then of course at first we need to see the middle value, intersected part. So as it is mentioned in here, so we just do what, we keep that value, we plot that value in front in the place of common area of the both sets as 10. And dear students, what do we mean by this? I have already told, B set in the B circle there must be 80. It means in the B circle the value should be 80. So if you see the B circle, okay, if you see the B circle, as the 10 value is already included in the intersected part, now to be 80, how much should be kept? If you see, then 80, if you do minus 10, then the remaining value should be in the place of B only. So there is 70. Directly, rather than writing 80 minus 10 equals to 70, you can write 70. Similarly, in this side, in case of NA equals to 70 means in the circle A means in these two places, this one and this one. That means N dot A and then after N bracket A intersection B. Combining together, there must be 70 it means. So as the 10 we have already kept, now to be 70, how many remain? 60. So directly you can write here also 60 without doing 70 minus 10. You don't need to show this process if you do know. If you don't know, then you can write in this way as well. So now there may be, I have already told the tag questions. In order to find out the answers of those tag questions, N dot A means this place represents N dot A, dear students. N dot B, B only, it represents this area. And then after A union B complement, accept the value containing in A union B, that value, that means 10. So we include 10. A union B, dear students, do not forget, sometime it may be asked. So A union B represents the value contained in the both circle combining together. We need to add those value contained in the both circle. So if we count, then 60, there is 60, and after 10, and after 70. So by combining together or by adding 60 plus 10, 70, 70 plus 70, 140. So A union B represents 140. That means in logical words, if we say there are 140 number of people or 140 number of students who like either apple or banana or both. Either apple or banana or both. If say, then in the symbolical form we write this one. So in this way we do the problem regarding cardinality of set. Now dear students, let's take another example. number of universal set, let's keep as 200. And then after, number of elements contained in P set, let's write as 100. Number of elements contained in Q set, let's write as 120. Okay. Number of elements contained in P union Q complement. It means if this question will be presented in this way, dear students. In our survey of 200 people, that means it represents the universal set. So we write in the short form as NU equals to 200. And in our survey of 200 people, it was found that there are 100 number of people who like to have potato, or you can say anything. Okay, as I have written there P, so in the place of P maybe other item, isn't it? Similarly, number of people who like to have Q, 120, and number of people who like, this means what? Number of people who like to have neither P nor Q. Neither P nor Q means it represents the area of complement. Let's include as 20. Now, if you have to represent this above this given information in Venn diagram, how will we represent? Let's see. Let's prepare a Venn diagram without using formula. You can solve all the questions regarding cardinality of 2 set as well as 3 set. No need to remember the formula. If you are well known about how to use the diagram or the Venn diagram, you can easily solve those questions, dear students. So every question can be solved without using formula. So let's keep the 2 circles. Let's make the 2 circle as there are only 2 circles. So N, P and Q. Number of elements contained in P set, NP represents, and then after NQ represents number of elements contained in Q set. So dear students, at the time I had told at the very beginning, we need to keep the elements contained in the intersected part. But if you see in this information, is there intersected value? P intersection Q, is there? No. At the time, we need to suppose. You can suppose by taking any variable x, y, z. You can keep by supposing. Let x be the number of people who like to have both P and Q. P intersection Q, let's suppose as x. You can suppose as x. You can suppose y, z, whatever you like. So if you do so, then what can be kept in the place of P intersection Q? Of course, we can keep x. Now in the place of P only, this is the place of P only. What should be kept? 100. Of course, the intersected value should be kept in the form of minus. So 100 minus x. And in the place of this side, you have understood yourself. Now you can do yourself 120 minus x. Now, if you see, we should not forget to keep the value of complement as well. As the complement value is given as 20, so we keep here as 20. Now, what we write, dear students, after representing the information in Venn diagram is, do write just one sentence from above Venn diagram. From above Venn diagram, underline to it. Then after, add the value contained in the whole rectangle. It must be equals to 200, because the universal set has the equal, it should have the equal number comparison to the union B as well as union B complement. So add this all together, it must be equal to 200. So 100 minus x plus x, 100 minus x plus x. Now what is here? Plus 120 minus x plus, do not forget your resistance to keep this one also. Then there is 20, so 20. And all together, by adding these informations of Venn diagram, the value must be 200. So let's keep here 200. Now we can solve this one to find out the value of x. Now minus x plus x, they can be cancelled, and just only one minus x will remain, isn't it? 100, 120, 20. By adding, how much will it be? 100 plus 120, 220, 220 plus 20, 240. The numerical value came as 240. Now I have already told minus x and plus x can be cancelled. Positive and negative like terms can be cancelled if they have the equal value. And then after, here is 1 minus x, dear students. Minus x equals to 200. Now, dear students, we should not forget to keep or sign after one step as the equal sign is used in here, okay, in anywhere in the meanwhile of the question. If there is equal sign, it represents the equation, okay. That's why we need to keep or sign after the first sentence. So we are going to keep here or comma. 240 minus x equals to 200. Now if we take 240 in that side, then what happens? Minus x will remain this side, and then after 200 is there already. Now 240, as it is positive in the left hand side, while taking it in the right hand side, it will be negative. So minus 240. Now 200 minus 240, as the negative value is maximum than the positive value, so the value comes in negative form, minus 40. Now this side minus x. So minus in the both side, in the right hand side as well as left hand side, can we cancel? So let's cancel minus sign. What happens? These two are cancelled. Now the value of x came as 40. Okay, the value of x came as 40. Now we are able to solve the Venn diagram without using any formula, dear students. And now we can give the answer of every questions, whatever given to us, okay, as per this question. For example, if question is given to find out how many people like P only, how many people like to have P only, or how many people are surveyed in case of P only. P only represents this area, isn't it? Q only represents this area, the value of this area. And how many people like both represents this area's value. And how many people like neither P nor Q? If question say at the time, we need to include this value. Now, if we want to find out, dear students, N dot P, how many people like P only, how many people like Q only, and similarly other, how many people like P only? 100 minus the value of x. As we have found the value of x as 40, so 100 minus 40. By doing so, 100 minus 40, as the value of x is 40, so I'm going to keep here in the place of x 40. Now it equals to 60. Now we can give the answer how many people like P only as 60. Similarly, you can do this one. N dot Q equals to 120 minus x, isn't it? So in the place of x, we have found the value as 40. So keep here 40. It equals to 80. The value of Q only came as 80. Once again, dear friends, 200 number of people were surveyed. P liking people were 100. Q liking people are 120, and P union Q complement, that means the number of people neither like P nor Q is listed as 20. So by representing the given information in Venn diagram, first of all we need to see the intersected value. As the intersected value is not mentioned in here, so we need to suppose the value which is not included in the question always should be supposed. Sometime maybe the value of complement side not given at the time, you need to suppose as x, y, z, any variables by using. Now in this question, as intersected part value is not given, so we suppose as x, and we kept in the place of common area. Now dear students, as this place belongs to P only, so while making P only, we need to subtract the middle value. intersected value. So 100 altogether in the circle P, there must be 100. It represents, as a result, 100 minus x and plus x. If we cancel these two, then of course the value remain as 100. That's why we need to do minus x in here. And this side also 120 minus x is in the circle Q, there must be 120. So 120 minus the value of x. If we add all together the value contains in P set, this one and this one, of course minus x and plus x will be cancelled. Minus x plus x can be cancelled, and altogether the value becomes 120. Now complement value is already given in the question, so we kept in the place of complement as 20. And then after keeping the whole information in Venn diagram, we just write a sentence from above Venn diagram. Adding all together value contained in the rectangle, it must be equal to the universal set. So universal set is given as 200. So P complement, P only, P intersection Q, Q only, and P union Q complement. By adding all together, it must be equals to 200. So 100 plus 120 and 20, by adding it becomes equals to 240, and minus x and plus x will be cancelled. Now remain minus x, so we kept minus x in here, and in the right hand side there is 200, we copy the same, and 240 by taking that side, as it is positive, while taking that side it converts into the negative form. So 240 becomes minus, and 200 come as usual, and minus x will remain the same, and this side also minus value, this side also minus value. So while we get such type of situation, we can cancel the minus, and the value of x came as 40. And P only, if you need to find out 100 minus the value of x 40, P only means 100 minus 40, 60. Now similarly, if you need to find out, if the question say to find out 120 minus Q only, at the time 120 minus the value of x as 40, so 120 minus 40, it becomes equal to 80. So in the logical form, how many people like P only? The question may be so. And how many people like Q only? At the time, in this way you can reply the answer of the questions. Dear students, you can see the such type of questions in the book which you have in your hand, and then after you can solve those questions. So in the upcoming days, repeatedly you can watch these videos. If you do not understand any part of this cardinality of set, you can watch this video in YouTube channel of Janata Television. So do not forget to subscribe the channel of Janata Television so that you can watch again and again frequently those problems, and you can have the knowledge that has been presented by us. Thank you very much. That much for today.